Once upon a time, there was a poor woodcutter who chopped wood in the forest outside the city of Baghdad. He worked hard, but he earned barely enough money to feed his family. One day as he was chopping wood, he heard someone reciting poetry nearby. Intrigued, he dropped his axe and followed the sound. He soon spotted a beautiful young woman sitting under a tree. She had let her hair loose and was sobbing softly. "Oh, how unfortunate I am," she cried. "I am the daughter of the king, yet no one knows it. Who knows what troubles I may encounter? Why don't you go to the capital and seek out your father?" the woodcutter asked. "I would do that," the princess replied, "but everyone in the kingdom believes I'm dead. That is why I have disguised myself as a commoner and left the palace to wander around this forest. If only I could meet a handsome prince and marry him, I would finally be happy." The woodcutter couldn't bear to hear her talk this way. He lifted up her heavy basket and carried it for her until they reached a nearby stream. "Here, please refresh yourself with some water," he said. "What an obliging man you are," she answered, wiping her face with a handkerchief. "Tell me, are you married?" "Yes," he said, "and I have 2 children too." "Oh, if only I had a husband as humble and hardworking as you," she sighed, and suddenly she began to cry even harder. The woodcutter didn't know what to do. He wanted to cheer her up, so he said, "Listen, I don't mean to brag, but I believe I'm the strongest woodcutter in the kingdom. If you want, I could cut down a whole forest in no time. You could make a small palace out of the logs for yourself." The princess stopped crying and smiled. "You really are a strong woodcutter," she said. "Well, actually, I'm not a princess, but a genie living in this forest. I usually appear to lonely travelers like you to play tricks on them. But since you've been kind to me, I'd like to grant you a favor. What do you desire? I will make it happen for you." The woodcutter didn't know what to say. Well, I guess it wouldn't hurt to have a little extra money. If you could grant me wealth, I would be able to take care of my family without having to chop wood anymore." "Of course," said the genie. "You shall have more gold than you could ever spend." And with a wave of her magic wand, the genie transformed the woodcutter into a handsome prince. She also gave him fine robes and a crown fit for a king. "Now," she said, "take this magic ring. As long as you wear it, you will always be a mighty king. But if you ever take it off, you will become a poor woodcutter again." The woodcutter thanked her and returned home, where his wife and children welcomed him joyfully as their long-lost king. They ruled over the kingdom for many years in peace and prosperity. One day, the former woodcutter was strolling through the marketplace when he saw a beggar dressed in rags. The man looked sad and weak. "Hey, maybe I should give him some money," the king thought. But then he remembered how poor he himself had been when he was a woodcutter. He felt sorry for the beggar, so he took off his crown and gave it to him. "Here, you can sell this and buy yourself something nice," he said. But the moment the crown touched the beggar's head, he turned into the same genie who had helped the woodcutter. "So you've discovered the secret of my magic ring," she said angrily. "Why did you give away your crown?" "I didn't know it was yours," the king replied. "I thought it was just an ordinary crown." The genie shook her head. "You humans never learn," she said. "You foolish king, I am granting you one last chance to save yourself. Answer me this, would you rather live out the rest of your days as a powerful king or as a poor woodcutter?" "Well, that's easy," the king said with a smile. "I would much rather be a poor woodcutter," and the genie, keeping her word, restored him to his former life. So the king and his wife and children lived happily ever after as simple woodcutter in their cottage in the forest. And that is the tale of how sometimes being too clever is not a good thing. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.